name of the festival is River to River because in Florence we have a river that is called Arno. So the idea is the flowing of cultures, of ideas and of cinema from the Arno to the Ganges and back. So the festival has the aim of showcasing Indian cinema and Indian visual arts at 360 degrees. So films from and about India, features, shorts, documentaries. And this year we are looking at the 18th edition that will take place in December. I had studied humanities and I had studied theatre, music, and I had always loved going to the cinema, watching films. I had always been a cinema buff. So it was by chance. I began organizing an exhibition of Indian movie banners in '98, the big 6x3 meter movie banners. And then in 99 invited those artists, Florence, to have a live show. And then in 2001 said, why not? So why not organize an Indian film festival in Italy because I live in Italy, in Florence because I live in Florence. So it was a little bit by chance. And then year after year I have also studied, learned, met the people and done much more. But in the beginning it was just an idea, as you say, let's try and do this because I think Indian cinema are two things that could be put together. So of course, Satyajit Ray is the first Indian filmmaker of whom I saw the film. So, and he is a master, and he was also an artist. He used to compose music and write and draw. So he's a 360-degree artist, absolutely. But then I must say that I love the work of Guru Dutt. I really like it a lot. We have screened in the past retrospective of Guru Dutt. We have also done Bimal Roy and Raj Kapoor and Ritvik Attack and of course Satyajit Ray. And yes. So my first trip to India was 25 years ago with my parents and my sister, family trip, beautiful. We went to Delhi and to Rajasthan. And in those years I never thought that India would be so important in my life now. So obviously, without knowing, that first trip put a first seed for my love towards India. So then when I got into this, when I gave a thought towards Indian cinema, that trip had already been there, and India had obviously already fascinated me with its colors, its food, its culture, and then of course its cinema. So probably you do things in life and then things come up after years, and that's probably what happened to me. So the festival has different sections, features, shorts and documentaries in competition. That would be, the winners would be screened. It is the audience who decides in our best of and our Milan chapter. And then of course every year we have a special homage or retrospective if there's a specific anniversary concerning India or its cinema or someone from the industry, an actor or a filmmaker. And then, as I said, we look at what is happening in India. We want to showcase what is happening in India. So in these past years, web series have been very present in India. And so since a few years, we showcase also, we choose one web series and we show the entire series to our audience on big screen. And I must say that the audience reacts well, they like it and they come. And yes. And in the past edition, we have also had a section devoted to VR, just again to be up to date and to show what is going on here. Now, the point is that the festival takes place in a country that is Italy, who has always had a tie-up with India. So Indian filmmakers have always looked at Italian neorealismo, and Italian filmmakers and writers have traveled to India often, and the two countries have a lot of things in common. The values of family, food, and many things. And when I come here, I really feel at home. And the same, some of filmmakers, when they come to Italy, they feel that there are things in common. But for some strange reason, Italy is a country where hardly no Indian film gets released. Therefore, the festival is the only place where to see certain films, and it is also a challenge year after year because things that maybe in the rest of the world are obvious for audiences are not so obvious in Italy. So how does Indian cinema is perceived compared to world cinema? Indian cinema has evolved a lot in the year, and it has been showcased and screened in important festivals. In Italy, it has not yet received the recognition that it deserves. I mean, not being in theaters with releases, big releases, but only very small releases. And of course, the festival is a way to help the release of an Indian film in Italy. Well, there are very interesting directors coming from India who have showed their films in festivals in Cannes, in Berlin, in Toronto, in Venice. Some of them may be, I'm just talking of course of these last years. I mean, Selvaggia was showcased in Cannes, and these last years Anurag Kashyap, Q, and many others. Mukti Bhavan was in Venice. So yes, I feel so Indian cinema still has to find its way, I feel, and then it makes a big difference in places where there are NRI, when there are Indians, and when there are no Indians. So the appreciation on how a film gets understood or seen, that makes also a difference. I travel to India once a year beginning the search for new films, beginning the film selection. I collect movies, I meet people, film producers, directors, and I go on shoots. And then I collect all this material, bring it back with me to Florence. I show it to my selection panel, and of course through the year this work goes on. At the moment I am in India doing this. So of course the most important thing is quality. We screen features, shorts, documentaries who have to be Indian related of the current year or the previous year. Our deadline for entries is mid-September. And we screen only Italian premieres, and we do not screen any film that has been on the net. So said that, of course, we get many applications, and I guess that now that all this net is more available to everyone, we get also a lot of much more films. I mean, maybe short films, maybe a young boy or girl in a village in the north of India will be able to send us a short film done on her or his cell phone. So this makes the variety of films even more. Of course, but taking an important and fundamental eye on the quality. So quality before everything, and then themes. I mean, so we see what is the theme of the year. It is quite interesting because in the years, often through the sections, the feature, shorts and documentary section, quite often there are similar themes. So it is interesting to see how in different kinds of telling stories certain themes are talked about. So, and then of course it is also word of mouth. So maybe friends of friends, they know that I am in town, and they know that we are selecting, that we are looking for films. Then I go to Cannes in the month of May, and that's again where I meet people from the Indian industry, and I see maybe projects that had been still in the working process a few months before in India. So it's months of work to do this. And then I am not on my own. As I said, I have a selection panel who looks at all the films and decides. So that's also important. Of course, so the festival is the only festival in Italy devoted only to Indian films. So as I said, and hardly no Indian film gets released in Italy, or very, very little. So it is the only place where to see them. So it is an opportunity for the audience and for the filmmakers to have their films showcased. Then we also have the films that win our audience award also get the opportunity to get screened in other places. We have a best of in Milan, in the cinema of Milan, in the February of the next year of the festival, and we're also working on a Rome edition, and we have also screenings in open air during the summer. So the films that are showcased at Riva to Riva have again the opportunity of being screened in other also occasions. And through the year, festivals sometimes ask us collaborations, so what films they could screen. So we screen magari a little section of Riva to Riva in other festivals throughout the year in Italy. So yes, and then one day, of course, the aim would be also to distribute Indian films in Italy. already different cities have different tastes. We have, as I said, our own main film festival, River to River, is in Florence in the month of December. This year it will be from 6 to 11 December. And then we do our best of in Milan in the month of February. So Milan is a city in the north of Italy. The audiences of these two cities that are in the same country are slightly different. So you can imagine from country to country. So we cannot say what is a film that will work. I feel that universal stories are stories that can appeal to everyone. Universal themes are those who can work universally, as the word says. Then, of course, films coming from India or about India are, of course, tied up with their personal tradition of the country from where they come and the stories of that. But so there's not really a rule. A film can also be understood by someone in a way and by someone else in another way. So it's very personal. Of course, the quality must be there, as I have said. It has to be, the story has to be well written, so good script, well shot, good actors. We have an issue with the length over there in Europe compared to the length of Indian films. But if an Indian film is good, there is no rule for a length. Sometimes short filmmakers ask me, oh, is there any rule? I say no. I mean, generally our films are 15, maximum 20 minutes. I'm speaking about short films of length. But if the film is longer and it's good and it goes on well, it's fine. But then, of course, all these things are depend from film to film. There is no precise rule on all this.